was quick to get going with Upward Bound as they draw to the first, and Upward Bound led on settling down. Gleamar kicking up on the inside with also Hydro Royal. Light Horse parked in behind them as they go past the judge with 2 circuits to go. A couple of lengths away then came Northern Park from Paddy Surprise Don Ruin. Dropping out to his second last is Orange Touch and a Charas Lad at the rear of the field. They head down the side of the track on the first occasion and they head onto the steeple track course. And the leader on the outside is Upward Bound, tackled on the inside there by Gleamar. This pair are going hammer and tongs and open up a break of about 6 lengths as they go over the second. Hydro Royal is running third, Light Horse fourth. Fifth on the inside then came Don Ruin, followed next on the outside of runners to Northern Park. They were followed by Orange Touch, Paddy Surprise and a Charas Lad. They've completed the treble as they head down the side. They go to the bottom corner of the Moonee Valley track and the leader now is Gleamar. The favourite takes over the running and dashes away by 3 lengths on his second placing Upward Bound. 4 lengths away third then came Hydro Royal and they were followed by Light Horse and then Don Ruin on the outside of Orange Touch. Next in the field then came Northern Park, followed further back in the field by Paddy Surprise and a Charas Lad 3 lengths away last. They've jumped the one at the 1,000 metres mark and the second of the double along the back of the track is up and they're all up and over that one, and the leader is Gleamar. He took a bit of a risk at that one. He got away by 5 lengths on Upward Bound. Third on the inside is Hydro Royal. Don Ruin is fourth on the outside. 2 or 3 lengths away then came Light Horse as they come up the side once again. Further back in the field came Orange Touch, followed by Northern Park. Next was Paddy Surprise. He took another risky jump at that one, Gleamar. He's inclined to run out at his jumps once again. Paddy Surprise was next, followed by a Charas Lad who whipped them in. Coming up the school side and the leader, they've almost completed one circuit. The leader is Gleamar as they come to the next. He ran out at it again but got over it okay by 2 or 3 lengths. Upward Bound is racing second, making ground quickly on this leader. They've completed one circuit here at the Valley. Third on the outside then is Don Ruin, who's travelling well. He's raced up to be third. They were followed by Light Horse. Hydro Royal was next from Orange Touch, Paddy Surprise, Northern Park, Charas Lad around the turn, and the leader as they come into the straight where they're about to jump the steeple in the home straight once again, and the leader is Gleamar. The field packs right up. They've completed one circuit, and Orange Touch, Paddy Surprise lost his rider there, and quite a spectacular fall there by the rider on Paddy Surprise, up on his feet, and quite a harmless fall there to the rider of Paddy Surprise, K. Rawilla. They sweep out of the straight. We've got a line of 3. Gleamar on the inside, matching strides on the outside now is Light Horse, and a length away third is Don Ruin. Fourth then came Upward Bound, followed further back in the field by Orange Touch. Hydro Royal was next, Northern Park, Charas Lad and the light riderless horse. They can run down the side. The first of the treble down at the 1,600 metre marks inside. Gleamar ran out it again. He got over an inconvenienced Light Horse quite considerably at that jump as they come to the second, and Gleamar got led over it, but he's about 5 or 6 horses off the rail from Light Horse, who comes across to the running rail again. They were followed third then by Don Ruin. Under a whip there is Hydro's Upward Bound. Further back was Hydro Royal on the inside of Orange Touch. A long gap in the field to a Charas Lad under the whip, not travelling well, and Northern Park dropped out to be last. They come to the one at the 1,000 metre mark. Along the back of the track they travel. It's Gleamar attempting to lead throughout. He draws to it, ran out at it again, but got over it okay. In second placing on the outside is Upward Bound. Light Horse hugging the rail, making good ground there. He dipped on landing there, that favourite Gleamar. He dipped very badly. The rider lost his cap, was almost out of the saddle, but made a remarkable recovery. And Orange Touch got a dream rails run to go up to tackle this favourite Gleamar. It's Orange Touch and Gleamar together, showing the way by 2 or 3 lengths on Light Horse. A Charas Lad's running on only fairly, followed by next in the field to the head of the rest is Upward Bound. He took another short one out at Gleamar. Orange Touch looks to be travelling a bit the better as they come up the side. They've got 2 just steeples to get over. The leader is Orange Touch, narrowly from Gleamar. Third is Light Horse, followed next in the field then by Upward Bound, a Charas Lad, Hydro Royal, Don Ruin. They come to the corner. They've got about 400 metres left to go, and Orange Touch, that's the lead. The danger on the inside is Light Horse is coming home well. They've got one obstacle to get over. It's Orange Touch, a narrow leader from Light Horse. Running third is Gleamar, a beaten horse, followed then by Hydro Royal, then Upward Bound, a Charas Lad, Don Ruin. Straightening up inside the 200 metres mark. They've got one to get over. It's Orange Touch going out very wide, tackled on the inside by Light Horse. Light Horse out jumped him, but he stumbled on landing, and this has presented the race to Orange Touch, who's coming away in the last little bit, and in a spectacular steeple, Orange Touch goes on to win by a length. Light Horse threw it away at the last when he knuckled on landing. Third was Upward Bound, not a bad run after being niggled at for a fair portion of the journey. They were followed in by a Charas Lad. Next was Gleamar, most disappointing. Then came Hydro Royal. Don Ruin was next, and Northern Park was last.
To the outside.
Also now, and Sunny Joe towards the inside began rather quickly with Lockray out wider. Abominable and Safe Ticket are all showing good early pace, and they were followed then out wider by, at the head of the rest, Rough Verdict showing good early dash. Next in the field came Grand Prix, followed by Marvidian. Travel Home was next on the inside, and they were followed then after a couple of lengths by Matt Just, which is second last, and Brother Mac is last of all. They sweep to the bottom turn, and the leader on top is Rockerville. The South Australian opens up a break by 2 lengths on his second placing Safe Ticket. Abominable is a length away third on the inside of Rough Verdict, and also out there in between runners came Lockray. They were followed at the head of the rest by Marvidian, Sunny Joe. Further back on then came Shillelagh Echo. Then came on the inside of runners to Grand Prix. A couple of lengths away to Matt Just, commencing a run from Travel Home, and still last of all is Brother Mac. They go to the 800 metres mark, and Rockerville a narrow leader from Safe Ticket. Rough Verdict's been off the track from the outset, and in between those runners then came at the head of the rest is Lockray. They were followed by Marvidian. Further back in the outside, making good ground now is Matt Just as they come up the side where Rough Verdict took over the running. Next was Locker, then came Shillelagh Echo. They were followed then by Sunny Joe, and further back was Abominable going backwards. Coming up the side of the 500 metres mark, and Rough Verdict a narrow leader. From on the outside, Matt Justice, which is swamped on, which has claimed this lead with one stride on the outside as they go inside the 400. Further back then came Marvidian, and they were followed then by Shillelagh Echo coming from a long way back, and then Rockerville. At the head of the rest was Grand Prix, but around the turn, and about 15 horses wide, Matt Just took the lead from Rough Verdict. Shillelagh Echo's the danger is starting to come home well, and he's revelling in the going, but Matt Just took the lead. 100 metres left to go. He's 15 horses off the road, but he's coming away, and Matt Just hands and heels at the moment is drawing clear in the last little bit for a good victory, and Matt Just the favourite greets the judge by 2 lengths. Second home was Shillelagh Echo, Rough Verdict third. They were followed home by Travel Home. They were followed in then by Marvidian. Then came Grand Prix. Brother Max made up ground from Safe Ticket. Then came Sunny Joe. Further back in the field then at the head of the rest would have been Lockray, Abominable, and Rockerville was last.
Was Ken a winner?
Off now, and My Head Mistress down near the inside, and Flightman were first away. Prince Puckle on the outside got away well. Gay Boise and Karina missed. They're followed then by Tudor's Rash over on the outside. Canawina racing up to them when showing terrific speed. Out jumped them at the first and took the lead. Coming to the second of the double down the side, and it's Canawina going over towards the inside rail to take the lead from My Head Mistress. Papagallo over on the outside, moving up now into second berth. Prince Puckle settles nicely in fourth position. Tudor's Rash on the inside. Hiroshi on the outside. A Flightman moving up on the inside rail. Then came Never Home over on the outside, and dropping right back through the field there into last place is Karina Miss with Gay Boise on the outside of him. In the back now, and going over to jump the next one near the 1,000-metre mark, and Canawina shows the way, a length and a half over Papagallo, increases it to 2 now, followed by My Head Mistress. They're followed then by Never Home over on the outside. About a length and a half further away then follows Prince Puckle on the inside rail. He's being followed then by Tudor's Rash on the inside, and not My Head Mistress going up around the outside there was Flightman and Hiroshi. They're being followed further back in the field then by Spring Creek and Gay Boise, and Karina Miss was bringing up the rear. Up the side they race now past the 600-metre mark, and coming up to jump the next hurdle, and Canawina out in front about a length and a half over My Head Mistress. Papagallo in third placing, followed then by Tudor's Rash along the inside rail. Prince Puckle the outside of it, and then came Never Home. Hiroshi further back in the field, followed then by Flightman, Spring Creek, Gay Boise, and Karina Mist was last. Racing up towards the home turn the first time, approaching the 200-metre mark, and Canawina on the inside is just the leader from My Head Mistress going up on the outside to almost join him now. They're followed by Prince Puckle moving up into third placing. Tudor's Rash on the inside rail was next, followed then by Never Home. Hiroshi over on the outside of Flightman, the inner. Papagallo next, followed by Spring Creek, who got into that one, followed by Gay Boise, and Karina Mist was last. Past the judges' box, 1 circuit to go, and Canawina on the inside rail is just the leader from My Head Mistress on the outside. There's not much between the pair of them, and they're a couple of lengths out in front of Prince Puckle. Further back to Tudor's Rash, Never Home. Hiroshi going up on the outside, trailed up by Flightman. There's a break then of about 5 or 6 lengths further back to Karina Miss, Gay Boise, Papagallo and Spring Creek. Down the side to approach the second of the double for the last time with 1,450 left to go. My Head Mistress on the outside, narrowly I'd say from Canawina. Prince Puckle doing nicely in third placing. Close handy Hiroshi going up on the outside from Tudor's Rash, and they're followed further back by Never Home. A break of about 5 further away to Karina Miss, Gay Boise, being followed then by Spring Creek, and Papagallo was last. Into the back they go now with 1,100 metres left to travel, and it's still Canawina out in front. Shows the way now from Prince Puckle going up on the outside, and there's the grey Hiroshi going up to to join the pair of them. They're followed then by Tudor's Rash. In behind them, Flightman 2 or 3 further away to Never Home, followed then by My Head Mistress. Further back in the field, a Gay Boise being followed then by Spring Creek, and Carina Mist was last. Down the back they travel now with about 850 metres left to travel, and Canawina on the inside is just the leader. Prince Buckle going up on the outside. The pair of them almost locked together, a length and a half from Hiroshi. Tudor's Rash in 4th place. They're followed then by Flightman, and a big break further back then to Never Home, and he was being followed then by Gay Boise. The others, you can forget about them. Coming up the side now, there are about 650 to go, and Prince Buckle is hit the front. This fellow could make it 4 in a row. Prince Buckle shows the way from Canawina. Hiroshi being hurried along now, and he's followed then by Tudor Rash at the head of the others, Flightman, as they went over the one at the 500-metre mark, the second last one, and come up towards the home turn. It's Prince Buckle. He skipped away now. He's about 3.5 in front of Hiroshi, moving up into second placing. Canawina on the rails third. Tudor's Rash going up on the outside. Next 3 lengths further away to Flightman. Nothing else a chance. Around the home turn, 250 to go, and Prince Buckle heads up for the judge, well clear of Hiroshi in second placing, and Tudor's Rash on the outside third, followed then by Canawina into the straight and coming down to jump the last one. Prince Buckle's only got to get over it to win it, I'd say. Prince Buckle draws to it. He fell through it, but he's well in front of Tudor's Rash and Hiroshi, and in the run home, Prince Buckle is too good, goes on to make it 4 in a row. Prince Buckle first, Tudor's Rash second, Hiroshi third, followed then by Gay Boise. On the inside of him, Canawina, Flightman. Further back in the field to Carina Mist, followed by Never Home, and then a long way further back in the field follows...
Double first leg of today's quadrella, and attendant in with Benton Boy. Now they're set. Mary Cord and attendant getting in with. Ready to jump now. Set. Field of 12. Ready. Gates open. Going. Like a Law began rather quickly with Benton Boy and also Khan Red vying for the lead. Up in that leading division then was All Nations and also Sultan's Hope, and they were followed then on the inside by Golden Navel. Further back then on the outside of runs to Chaitanya Moist, and Pipes with the tail end as they settle down. As they sweep to the bottom turn, and the leader on top and getting away now is Sultan's Hope, shows the way by a length and a half on his second placing Mary Cord on the inside of Khan Red. 3 deep at that stage then was Benton Boy, and out 4 horses wide as they go down the back of the track is Chaitanya. They were followed then after a couple of lengths by Like a Lord. Further back in the field was All Nations, improving his position from that. The head of the rest then was Pipes. They were followed then by Andromache, which is third last. Second last is a long way back now Golden Navel, and last of all is Moist. They commence the run up the side of the 800 metres mark, and Sultan's Hope are held together on the inside, shows the way by a length. On in second placing Benton Boy. 2 lengths away third is Khan Red, and they were followed then by Mary Cord. Further back in the field was Chaitanya, followed then by All Nations. Andromache was next, followed by Moist. Like a Lord going backwards, passed by Pipes, and Golden Navel can't go a yard, is out the rear. Up the side of the 400 metres mark, and Benton Boy on the outside moved up to Sultan's Hope and took a narrow lead. Khan Red is poised to pounce behind these horses, and they were followed by Andromache running on well from Mary Cord, and then All Nations coming from a long way back. They head to the 250 metres mark, and Benton Boy out in the centre of the track took the lead from Sultan's Hope. Khan Red's coming home for hard, and they will follow them by Andromache under the whip and All Nations into the straight of the 200 metres mark. Benton Boy under his big weights clear. All Nations, Sultan's Hope is finding a second effort on the inside, but it's Benton Boy with a handy lead getting close to the line, and Benton Boy for the money. Out under the judges' tower, Benton Boy wins from Sultan's Hope, tied for third between Khan Red and All Nations. Andromache was next, and they were followed in by Mary Cord, Like a Law, Chaitanya. Next in the field came Blue Prince, and they were followed in by Moist, which was a long way back. And with the tail enders then at the head of the rest was Pipes, and pulling up last over the line was Golden Navel. Set to go now. This is the 4 and 20 handicap over 1,200 metres. Favourite here is Open, off and running. A beautiful dispatch too. On settling down, and Little Ali showing a ton of pace with Piggott, and towards the inside Super Jinx was up in the firing line, followed by Toss. Rams Kingdom's up there in the early stages, and they were followed by Trev Set driving through. Further back then came Shinbone Alley. Crepalox caught off the track with Dorcon. Also Knight's Gauntlet followed by Private Talk. Boone's Castle seconds out last of all, and Lady Dumbrell at the rear. Commencing the run up the side at the 800 metres mark, a good charge up front. The leader is Little Ali, a narrow leader. In second placing is Rams Kingdom. Also up there is Piggott, followed by Super Jinx and Marigan. And making ground quickly off the track is Krepalox. He's looking for the better going, and he's walked up to these leaders. Dorcon was in behind them, followed by Trevset. Further back then at the head of the rest was Toss, followed by Private Talk, Lady Dumbrella. Knight's Gauntlet was second last, and Boone's Castle last of all. The favourite and top weight, Krepalox, swept to the lead at the 400 metres mark. He's 5 horses off the rail, but he's got away from them. In second placing is Super Jinx, followed by Ram's Kingdom. They were followed by Shimbo Nelly. Further back in the field was Knight's Gauntlet from Dorcon and Trevset, but straightening up for the run in, and the class performer Krepalox has shot away. He got more than 4 or 5 lengths on Super Jinx. Private Talk coming home well on the inside with Shimbo Nelly, but it's all Krepalox in the run home, and Krepalox is scoring a very easy performance, revelling in the going. He now scores 1 up at Moonee Valley. Krepalox is first, second home Shimbo Nelly, tight for third between the fast finishing Knight's Gauntlet or on the inside Private Talk, and they were followed in by Super Jinx. Further back was Trevset, Maragon, then came Boone's Castle, Ram's Kingdom, Little Ali tied from Toss, then came Piggott, followed by Dorcon, and Lady Dumbrell was last. All set to go now. The potential stay of stakes over 1,600 metres. Hello. Brigade Prince has backed out. They had him in. Open, off and running now. And Thornton Heath towards the centre of the track began rather quickly with Lord Brighton. Eager Matrine on the inside was quick to get going with Seabourn. Shane Pace is stalwart behind them, followed by Abelard Carl Boktasan. Off the track early is Bright Brigade. They were followed then by Diamond Bow, settling down and approaching the first turn. Further back in the field then came is Rumbold, and at the rear of the field is Boktasan. At the 1,200 metre corner, and Thornton Heath comes across to show the way by 2 lengths on Lord Brighton, racing off the rail. A length away third is Seabourn on the inside, and they were followed by Eager Matrine. Brigade Prince is off the track from Abelard Kale. Boktasan was next, improving his position, followed by Rumbold. Next was Stalwart Keep Fit. A gap in the field at the head of the rest then came. Further back in the field to one of the last being Stalwart, and at the rear of the field on his outside is Diamond Bow. Commencing the run up the side, and the leader is Thornton Heath, narrowly in front of on the outside Lord Brighton, who now takes a narrow lead. 2 lengths away third is Abelard Kale, and they were followed by Eager Matrine on the inside, followed at the head of the rest, making ground by Brigade Prince. They were followed then by Rumbold, Boktasan, Keep Fit. Seabourn going backwards, then came at the head of the rest is Express Queen. Further back in then came Diamond Bow, and one going hopelessly in the going is Stalwart. Up the side at the 400 metres mark, and Lord Brighton has dashed away. He's got more than 2 lengths on Abelard Kale, the top weight and favourite out after this leader. Coming home strongly is Rumbold behind them. Thornton Heath, a beaten horse, and then came Keep Fit, but on the point of the turn, and Lord Brighton now 10 horses wide has taken the lead. Coming home strongly in between runners is Abelard Kale. It's Abelard Kale and Lord Brighton settling down to fight it out. They're clear of Rumbold, and then came Keep Fit halfway down the straight, and Abelard Kale took a narrow lead, but Lord Brighton's boxing on the outside. Lord Brighton and Abelard Kale and Lord Brighton. Lord Brighton doing a little bit the better. Abelard Kale lunges. Near enough to a dead heat this between Abelard Kale the inside, or on the outside Lord Brighton, not a breath in it. Third home's tight between Rumbold and Keep Fit. They were well clear of the rest of the field, headed then by Boktasan. Then came Brigade Prince, Seabourn. Diamond Bow was next from Thornton Heath, Eager Matrine, Express Queen. Set to go now for the Presto Handicap over 2,600 metres, wide betting race, field of 13. Racing in the second leg of the double, and Zellman out wide missed the kick by a half length, and best to get going was Kaimoto, and Heroic Kid is showing good early pace. They were followed by Persian Otto towards the inside. Clearly Right's up, vying for the lead. Up there in the firing line is Belushi settling down. Driving through on the inside is Sir Nikosi, along with Persian Otto. Eagerline fair behind that pack of horses. They were followed then by Zellman, caught off the track early from Coffee Boy the Rail. A length or so then came Sir Sabai. They were followed at the head of the rest then by Lucky Nation Samoy, and Kaimoto whipped them in. At the 2,000 metres mark, around the turn on the initial occasion, and Heroic Kid, a narrow leader from Persian Otto. This pair match strides and show the way in front of Sir Nikosi, who's racing third. 2 lengths away fourth, then came Belushi, and they were followed by Clearly Right Coffee Boy off the rail. Further back in the field came Zellman. They were followed by Sir Saab. Making ground coming down to the judge with the circuit to go is Kaimoto with Samoy. They were followed by Eagerline Fair Lucky Nation, and Bayi, who's relegated to last. Sweeping out of the straight, about 6 or 8 lengths covers this field as they head toward the 1,600 metre peg, and the leader taking up the running is Heroic Kid. He shows the way by about 3 parts of a length on Sir Nikosi. Third on the inside is Persian Otto as this leader goes off the rail. Kaimoto is 4 and 5 horses wide as they travel down the side from Clearly Right. Further back was Coffee Boy. Next on the inside is Bellucci. Lucky Nation hugging the rail, followed by Samoy. In between that pair came Zellman. Bay Eyes off, making ground quickly from Sir Sub, and Eagle Eye Fair is now last. They head to the 1200-metre corner, and Heroic Fair free striding out in front by 2 or 3 lengths on second place in Kaimoto. 2 lengths away, third on the inside is Sir Nicosi, followed then by Clearly Right. Bay Eyes making ground quickly around the outside of that pack of horses. Further back was Bellucci from Samoy. Further back at the head of the rest is Sir Sub, and they were followed then by Zellman. 2 or 3 lengths away, then came Eagle Eye Fair, followed by Lucky Nation, and Persian Otto is relegated to last. Commencing the run up the side, and this pair have opened up a big break. It's Heroic Fair on the inside, and on the outside Komodo. Heroic Kid and Kaimoto match strides and have opened up a break of about 5 or 6 lengths, and they're both racing deep off the rail. Third placing is Bay Eye on the inside, followed by Zellman running on well from Samoy. Next was Eagle Eye Fair from Sir Sub. Lucky Nation's running on well, and they will follow them by Bay Eye. Further back was Clearly Right, and Bellucci was at the head of the rest. Inside the 500 metres mark, and 10 horses off the rail. The top weight and favourite Kaimoto swept to the lead. He's got more than 5 or 6 lengths on Heroic Kid. This favourite's revelling in the going, and he's going further ahead. Zellman's racing into third position, and they will follow them by Lucky Nation. Further back in the field then came Clearly Right from Samoy, but around the turn inside the 250 metres mark, and Skelton goes for home on Kaimoto. This steeplechaser has a huge break. It looks like he's going to make it 2 in a row on the flat. He's well clear of in second placing Heroic Kid. Lucky Nation down the outside, followed them by Clearly Right, and then came Zellman, but the steeplechaser and favourite for the Grand National Steeplechase is coming right away in the concluding stages. A most impressive victory there to Kaimoto, and the top weight and favourite, well ridden there by Bobby Skelton, kept him off the rail for the entire journey, has won easily. Second home has gone to Lucky Nation. Clearly Right is third, and they were followed in then by Heroic Kid. Further back in the field was Sir Sub. Next in the field then came Samoy from Zellman. Bellucci was next. Eagle Eye Fair was a long way back with Bay Eye, who couldn't go on with the job. Sir Nicosi and Coffee Boy has wound up.
Taste. Am I coming on? Oh, good.